Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second class of this crash course in English, courtesy Ekcel Academy. Here's Mrs. Meenala Satyamurthy taking you through yet another session of this crash course. Crash, yes, we have crashed, not to fall into pieces, but to wake up again and rise just like Phoenix. So we all have all risen up, and now we are yet again on another fruitful journey. Reminding you of yesterday's class and much before that, let me share with you a small clip. Ekcel Academy offers CS executive coaching. The new batch has been announced. You want to get updates about the new CS executive batch with live classes? Sign up for free on excelacademy.com. The best is always comes in the last. So wait for the best till the end. So remember, Ekcel Academy CS Executive Coaching, there's a new batch announcement that has been brought to your notice right now itself. And you want to get updates about the new CS Executive batch with live classes, you'll have to sign up for free on excelacademy.com. And mind you, this yet under best news that will come at the end of my class. So I stop sharing this and move on to the regular class. Now, if you remember right, and if I try to recapitulate and help you right, yesterday was the first class and we did what is known as para jumbles, also RC, the reading comprehension, the tips and the tricks. I started off with the tips and tricks for the RC, that is the reading comprehension, and gave you 5 important tips. The word scan is the big clue for you in the first and the second tip. The first tip, I just thought, let me recapitulate myself. I don't want to trouble you right now. So let me start off and recapitulate and say, scan only the questions. Scan the questions. Scan the questions. That is, read the questions first. Then scan the passage very briefly. Remember, the first paragraph contains the idea. The last paragraph contains the conclusion or the summarization. And you have vocabulary, which is a part and parcel of literally every part of the English sentence that you're learning. And so vocabulary, you want to know the meaning. Go through the whole sentence and try to get the meaning through it and then looking for it in the passage. So with these 5 tips that I had laid out for you yesterday, we did solve a comprehension passage with you. And I had told you, I hope you remember, that I shall be doing a comprehension passage every day so that it gets into your system and you practice. I hope and pray that each one of you would look into these videos in order to practice, not to crash, but to rise from the crashes and move on and rather soar high up in the galaxy of stars. So let's now once again go through yet another comprehension passage for practice as promised to you. I shall share. So let's all be ready. Don't worry, I shall zoom if there's anything you want to know. Yes, you could definitely chat there. So if you have seen, this is a comprehension passage. Now, since I'm doing it for practice, definitely I have done the homework, but I would like to just see to it and tell you is 543 elected MPs, single member constituency using first past the post voting. President of India nominates an additional 2 members from the Anglo-Indian community if he believes the community is underrepresented. So this is the passage, okay? So this is the first paragraph. Let's read the first question. And I said scan. So just don't look into, please read the question carefully. We are doing smart work. We are not doing hard work here. Hard work done very smartly. There's always a difference. You work hard, but you cannot do it, you have your competitive exam. You have to do carefully. So do smart work. And here we are for that smart work, ever ready. Which word or passage means? Disapproval of current political office holders in the passage. Now, this particular word, if you are a regular reader of the newspapers and following the political news regularly, this word must be there already in your mind. If it isn't, absolutely no issues. So let's go back. This is the first question. He gives you about the vocabulary as to what it could be. So now, when you see the first passage, nothing much you get. So now what were the choices? That also we shall see. First, past the post, disapproval of current political office holders is the meaning. First, past the post, blunder, anti-incumbency, model code of conduct. Conduct is behavior. Conduct. So remember, same spelling, but different pronunciation and different meaning. Conduct, con. So it's behavior. Disapproval of current political office holders. You have the word anti-incumbency. Incumbent is nothing but those who are in power. That's why I use the word in case you're a regular newspaper reader. In case you read the newspaper regularly, immediately you will know it is anti-incumbency. So however here, earlier there were speculations that Modi government might advance the 2019 general election to counter the anti-incumbency factor. However, learning from its past blunder of preponing election made by the Vajpayee government. So it decided to go into election as per the normal schedule, which was announced by Election Commission of India on 10th March 2019. So anti-incumbency is the answer. Now, if you have seen this word, advance the 2019 general election. Advance is actually meaning prepone. So we never use the word prepone unless and until it's essential, like this preponing the views. So advance elections. So is nothing but bring the date further. Since when was the model code of conduct applied with immediate effect? Remember, in these options, there are all dates. So you now have in your mind, oh, it's a date. Now this date, you cannot remember all the 4 dates together, but somewhere in the passage, there may be dates and years. So that's where you will rush your brain cells to. 23rd May 2018, 10th March 2019, 10th March 2018, 11th March 2019. So let's go to a date if there are 2 dates. Now there's one date here, 10th March 2019. So there are no other dates, okay? So what was the question? When was the model code of conduct applied? Now, if you see this on 10th March 2019, after which the model code of conduct was applied with immediate effect. Did you see the skill of going on to it? There is 2019 here also, but there is no date. But in the answer, there is date, month, and year. Here you have only the year. So you should know that it should have all the 3 parts. So you have seen it only here. So just go a little into the line. You get your answer. 1 mark is in your pocket. How simple. Who said reading comprehension was tough? It isn't. And this will help you where? Later on, when you have so many meetings to be done, so many schedules to be done, and so many projects, so many assignments to be done, your way of reading the comprehension passage would have automatically imbibed into your system, and you will be able to skim and sail through and get the contextual meaning of the passage, the contextual meaning of the meeting. And that would help you to read faster. Then for a second reading, when you go, if you have time, you will know it. So that's how this is going to help you. That's why comprehension passages are a part and parcel. No doubt it increases your reading ability. Eye span, they call it, moving at each word. But then look at this, 10th March 2019 is your answer. I'm just stressing and emphasizing on these factors to make you understand that please, for heaven's sake, do not leave the comprehension passage unanswered. Answers are there. All that you have to do is put a tick mark. And so what is so difficult in putting a tick mark? Nothing difficult at all. So it is so simple. When does the President of India nominate an additional 2 members from the Anglo-Indian community? Let us see the options. When there are less than 543 elected MPs, when the Anglo-Indian community fails to send a representative, when the president believes that the Anglo-Indian community is overrepresented, when the president believes that the Anglo-Indian community is underrepresented. One is over, one is under. So that is one thing. The other one is less than 543 and fails to send a representative. So let's go about to any Anglo-Indian community in the passage. Now, if you go to Anglo-Indian community in the passage, you will notice it's in the very first paragraph only. So what happens here is the President of India, the 543 elected MPs will be elected from the single member constituencies. The President of India nominates an additional 2 members from the Anglo-Indian community if he believes the community is underrepresented. You have underrepresented there. You had it. So let's go back to the answer. Yes, you have this underrepresented. You have over also, but you know very well the answer is under. So it is the 4th one. So it could be any passage. It just need not be related only to your CSEET. It need not be only related to your CS. It could be any passage, mind you, let me tell you. But remember that it is the answer, the way of scanning through the questions and the passage is what holds us in good grip for to rather attempt anyone. Be it any damn passage. So this is one. Now, what are the mandatory requirements to vote in India? So here you have, must be an Indian citizen, must be 18 or older, must have a valid criminal record, must be an ordinary resident of the polling area of the constituency, must possess a valid voter identification card issued by the Election Commission of India. See the variety of questions that is put across. This is a question with MCQ in itself. That was a question with the MCQ. One was the vocabulary question. One was asking you literally the meaning, and one was asking you about the year and date. So the correct options: 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 2, 1, 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see what is it. It says, must be an Indian citizen. You all are aware. Must be 18 or older. You are all aware. Must have a valid criminal record. You are all aware. Ordinary resident of the polling area. Possess a valid ID card. Anything? Let's go back. Automatically, if you see this passage, you get it. The whole passage gives you the clue. Eligible voters must be Indian citizens. It's there. 18 or older. That is there. An ordinary resident of the polling area of the constituency. That is there. Possess a valid voter identification card issued by the Election Commission of India. 4 points are there. Some people convicted of electoral or other offences are barred from voting. Barred, stopped from voting. Those who have criminal or other kind of offences are barred from voting. So you got your points. You got Indian citizen, 18 years. You got the voter's ID. Let's see. And a resident of the polling area. Yes, Indian citizen, right? 18 or older is right. And then must have a valid criminal record is not right. Ordinary resident. So 1 is right, 2 is right, 4 is right, 5 is right. Now 1, 2, 4 and 5. So you have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5. So only B option is the right answer. Only B option is the right answer. So B will be correct. So that is how it is. That's what we should look into. Now, what is the this thing? Meaning, apt meaning of speculations as per the passage. Conjunctions, assumptions, either A or B, both A and B. So it's very clear. You've got only 2 words. Conjunctures are assumptions. What is the apt meaning of speculation as found in the word? You don't have to look at C and D at all because it can be this or that. It can be both A and B. So your way of searching the answer is reduced to a large extent. Apply that kind of rule. You have only 2 words to look into. Conjectures are assumptions for speculation. Because C says either A or B. D says both A and B. So the answer searching just comes down to 2 words. Can't we find 2 words rather than omitting it and saying we are not going to attempt? So let's go back. Speculation. The word speculation is used in the passage. Now we may have not gone through, which we may not be able to find. This passage we read, so we don't know it is there. So what is the meaning of speculation? Yes, we get it here. Yes. Earlier, there were speculations that the Modi government might advance the 2019 election to counter the anti-incumbents factor. So speculations. Here is the word. The word speculations is here. So what could be the meaning then? Could it be assumptions? Could it be this? What it could be? So it could also mean conjectures. That is, you are assuming. It's literally a synonym of that word. So the answer is both A and B. So this will be the answer. That is how it is. Now, how easily you could solve the paper? How easily you could attempt the reading comprehension? Let me check if at all there is anybody who's chatting. Otherwise, I shall move on. There is nobody. It's okay, fine. Absolutely no issues. It's your time. It's your prerogative. And it's your examination time. So you take care, and whenever you're free, please go through the video, because I'm sure it would, in direct or indirect, would be of immense help in trying to help you answer the questions. So this is another comprehension practice that I wanted to do with you all. Now, with this, what happens, we have finished the way we should attack the RC, and this is the second one we have done so far. So I'll try my level best to see that one RC is solved every day. And when we take up question papers, then we look into question papers only. But these tips must be remembered. So please remember these tips. And now we go on to para jumbles. So I'll stop sharing this and go on to para jumbles. Few seconds, please. I'll zoom in a few minutes. I shall zoom in. I'm just looking in for the correct passage and then I shall zoom in. Yeah. Yes, this one I had dealt with it yesterday, but I thought let me once again deal it with you. Okay, let me just recap. Now we are coming to para jumbles. Now in para jumbles, what did I tell you? The very first thing that I told you was take care of the subject. Excuse me, the subject could be a noun or could be a pronoun. So in case it's a noun, first look for the topic one. Read all the four, just glance through all the four, and the first one will be the main in case you have a name or something. Then you look in for the LinkedIn words. Okay, you go on to it. You're looking for the pronouns. If it is he, if it is, as I told you, if it is Tom, it would be he, or Bess, it would be she. So go in, and then you can even say it also, it could be going for that. Eventually check on the transition words like eventually, as a result, consequently, nevertheless, furthermore, besides, apart from, all that. And finally, the concluding statement. So you will have to first find out the main sentence and the last one, and then automatically you can fit everything into one single nutshell. Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre is one of the classic 19th century English novels. So yes, this is one of the things that we read it. Okay, it describes a love affair between the heroine, a governess, and her aristocratic master, Rochester. The novel ends with the marriage of Jane and Rochester, after Jane has become both professionally and economically independent. Jane's struggle for independence marks the novel as centrally engaged with the oppression of women in 19th century England and with the possibility of their liberation from constricting roles of subservience to their male masters. So the first thing is the main thing. What's the main thing in this sentence? It about Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. So your sentence is already there, A. What is the novel about? It describes the love affair between the hero and the heroine. So what happens to the hero and the heroine? It ends with their marriage. And what is so important about our novel, or what is the characteristic trait in Jane Eyre's novel? The fact how women overcame this sort of subservience, overcame this sort of subordination from the so-called male counterpart. So automatically in this, it is purposefully arranged to show you how it brings meaning. And so if you have noticed, A is the name, and then B, it starts with it. Here you have about the novel. So you cannot say, well, the novel. Which novel? You cannot say it. What is that it? Now, Jane's struggle for independence. Who is this Jane? How is she related to this? So ultimately, everything goes back to A. Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. So you can see how the crux of the issue is just in those starting of the words, which comes logical sequencing. So that is the first one. So this I had dealt with you. We shall further move on. Yes. Second one. But all these latter-day pamphlets, good as they are, fail to reach the excellence of Bob, son of battle. It is the best dog story ever written. It inspires regret. The dogs cannot read. So remember, it starts with the word but. During the last half century, since the publication of Dr. John Brown's Rab and his friend, the dog has approached an apotheosis. Now, one of the most profoundly affecting incidents in the Odyssey is the recognition of the ragged Ulysses by the noble old dog who dies of joy. Now, among innumerable sketches and stories with canine heroes may be mentioned Bread Heart, I think it's Bread. Yeah, Brett. Okay, fine. Oh no, a little fast. This problem you will not have because you are going to read the question paper. So you will not have any issues over there. Yes. Among innumerable sketches and stories with canine heroes may be mentioned Bret Harte's brilliant portrait of Boonder, Maeterlinck's essay on dogs, Richard Harding Davis's The Bar Sinister, Stevenson's whimsical comments on the characters of dogs, Kipling's Garm and Jack London's initial success, The Call of the Wild. So we have all these things we have to arrange. We remember very well now CABD, CDBA, CDAB, CBDA. So he says the answer is 4, CBDA. Okay, let's see. Now, as I told you very clearly, it cannot start with A, but this was a big clue for you to know it cannot start with but. So your option of A is done. In the D, what has happened is he's given you, there are many canine heroes. Canine means dogs. So what are the names of the various books that have the hero as the dog? So that he is given to you. That's the major thing that is given to you. So he says C is the first one. How? See the way it has started. One of the most profoundly affecting incident in the Odyssey is the recognition of the ragged Ulysses by the noble old dog who dies of joy. During the last half century, since the publication of Dr. John Brown's Ram and his friends, the dog has approached an apotheosis. So this will be the second, CBDA. Then comes these, and now the last one. So why is the last? Because here there are various stories with the dog as the hero. But all these later day pamphlets, good as they are, fail to reach. They fail to reach the excellence of Bob, son of battle. It's the best dog story ever written and inspires regret that canons cannot read. So it inspires regret. How sad the dogs cannot read, because this is the best story ever written among all this. Therefore, C is the first, B is the second, D is the third, and the last one is A. So you may take a little time, doesn't matter, but this is how you arrange. Now, here's another one. Sometimes you may get this. Be ready for the para jumbles of any type. Read the following groups of sentences. The first and the last are numbered 6. The rest are numbered PQRS. Arrange these 4 sentences in proper order to form a meaningful paragraph or sentence. You're very lucky here. You're being given 1. Youth are the assets and hope of a nation. So next, PQRS should be arranged, but equipped with modern scientific knowledge is already given. So youth are the asset and hope of a nation in making India a great, steeped in old cultural values. They can play a vital role, democratic, progressive, and prosperous country. So here you can see the answer to be 3, which is RPSQ. Now, what? Youth are the assets and hope of a nation. They can play a vital role. So after nation, they here refers to the youth. So they refers to the youth. They can play a vital role. And then RP, in what can they play a vital role? In making India a great, in making India a great, democratic, democratic, progressive, prosperous country steeped in old cultural values. How beautiful it is. Youth are the asset and hope of a nation. Finish. They can play a vital role. They refer to youth naturally is the first one. See the second one, commencing with in. Now in is what? A preposition. So gone. Steeped. It's a verb, but then you cannot start off with this because it doesn't make. And then democratic, progressive, and democratic, progressive, prosperous country. So they can play a vital role in what? In making India a great what? Democratic, progressive, and prosperous country. Country what? Steeped in old cultural values. So this is the process of elimination that you are going to do when you have this so-called para jumbles. Now, the para jumbles could be given in this format. Usually, it's given in the previous format that I have seen, the Charlotte Bronte's, which I read Jane Eyre, in that format. Or it is taken from the comprehension passage and you're asked to rearrange, and that would be furthermore easier. I'm just giving you a training in all the types so that it does not go like, it has not been touched upon. Do not get frightened. A little extra will not cause any kind of damage, should not rather. I'm telling you beforehand itself, should not cause any kind of block in your mind. Oh my God, so many types. No, each one has a clue to its own self. So do not feel the fact that it can hamper your studies and say, oh my God, it's an extra thing. Why the hell should we study? What if it is given? It may not be given, but you know how to solve the trick of the trade. So please bear in mind and go through. We shall go to the next one. Porcelain became popular at the beginning of the 19th century in a kiln at more than 2372 degree Fahrenheit. If I'm right, I think it must be in a kiln. Yeah. Refer to both china and bisque dolls. Porcelain is made by firing special clays. Porcelain is used generally too. Only a few types of clays can withstand such high temperatures. So porcelain has become popular, is given. Only a few types of clays at such high temperature is given. That is also done for you. You have to arrange PQ, RS, which is very important. So in a kiln at what? So it's become popular at the end of 19th century. Now, in. It cannot start with in. Refer to both China and this. No. Porcelain is made by firing special clays. It can begin. Porcelain is generally used to. Now, what happens is, it is porcelain used generally to refer to both China and bisque dolls. And then what happens is, it is made by firing special clays in a kiln at more than 2372 degree Fahrenheit. So what happens here is, we have eliminated P, we have eliminated Q, we have got only R and S left. Now, when R and S is left, either R should be first or S should be first. Now, porcelain is made firing special clays, it will go with this. So where will you add this then? So it's used generally to do what? To refer to both China and bisque dolls. It's made how? By firing special clays in a kiln at more than 2372 degree Fahrenheit. Why? See the last 10 sentence. Only a few type of clays can withstand such high temperatures. So when the last sentence says only a few type of clays can withstand such high temperatures, this in turn will refer to the amount of heat that is required. Naturally, it will have P before it. And that is why the answer will be SQRP. I hope you got how I'm eliminating the answers in order to make a meaningful sentence and put them in a logical sequence. And here you got the first and the last ready. So in between the four, you should arrange. So this is one type. Okay, good writers use more verbs. However, it is hard to write without verbs. The reason is that if unnecessary words are reduced, the verb percentage goes up as a mathematical necessity. So use verbs is not really good advice. Writers have to use verbs, and trying to add extra ones would not turn out well. So what is the answer here? Okay, so it says now good writers use more verbs. It started with good writers. However, I said it's a transition word. It has to combine, so it can't stand with however. Now, what happens here is the reason. More verbs. Why? So it can begin with reason. So use verbs. Now these are connectors. These are connectors. So in turn, this cannot hold good. Okay, so what is this? So it refers to good writers use more verbs. So the first one will be good writers use more verbs. So that is the thing. So good writers use more verbs. The reason is that if unnecessary words are reduced, the verb percentage goes up as a mathematical necessity. That means to say, actually, I need not explain the meaning, but let me tell you to make it very clear to you that in case if there are unnecessarily start reducing words, you'll have to add up verbs so that you balance the sentence. The sentence becomes structurally balanced. So it's a mathematical necessity. However, it is hard to write without verb. So use verbs is not really good advice. Writers have to use verbs. Trying to add extra ones would not turn out well. So remember, however cannot start. It cannot start with so use verbs. The reason is what? So it is definitely linked to the first one. And therefore, this is how we try to solve it. So if at all you see this in turn will go here, and then what will happen is after this it is this, and then ultimately you come to this. So this is how the thing is going to be solved. Now one more I'll do a few more. Probably after this, I may not do para jumbles again. Tomorrow I go on to a new topic with actually the comprehension passage also. That is no doubt about it. As a practice, I may finish, take a little less time and go on to a newer topic. So I might not stick on to para jumbles again. And if you're not watching the video right now, absolutely no issues. You could watch at your own free time. And at the same time, you could, if you have doubts, you can post the doubts and clarify at all if there is any. But it's my sincere and humble request that you watch, because what an opportunity the Academy has given. It's wonderful. Look at their thought process. Do we ever think like that? Do we ever think of them in these terms? Just give a thought and grab the opportunity, grab it. Grab it with your hands, grab it. Don't leave it unturned. Don't leave any stone unturned when you have to do the exam. When they have given this, go take it up, utilize it, and then it would be so helpful for your exams. Even if one student takes the help, I would be pretty glad that it has been useful. So I cannot expect, because expectations always leads to sorrow, remember, in your life. So expectation leads to sorrow. I hope and pray to God that you would utilize the benefit provided to you by this generous Excel Academy. That's all is my wish. Now, the next one. Oh, this is sentence correction, but doesn't matter. Yes, we will do a little change. It's not a para jumble. The small child does whatever his father was done. Whatever his father was done. So has done, did, does, had done, no correction required. And the answer is had done. The small child does whatever his father had done. There are not many men who are so famous they're frequently referred to by their short names, initials, signatures, pictures, middle names, no correction. Answer is initials. I need not offer any explanation regarding this incident. My behavior is speaking itself. My behavior speaks for itself. Will speak to itself, speaks for itself, has been speaking, that's the thing. The population of Tokyo is greater than that of any other town in the world. So yes, greater than that of any other town. There are only two comparisons, that's the thing. I'll come to the comparisons later. He found the gold coin as he cleans the floor, as he had cleaned, as while he cleans, which he's cleaning while cleaning, as he found the gold coin while cleaning the floor. He's too important for what's this one, sorry, tolerating any delay. He's too important to tolerate any delay. These were a few examples in this that was already there, so I just brought it up. I'll take you to yet another set of sentence para jumbles, because I told you very clearly I might not do these para jumbles tomorrow again. So I'll stop sharing the screen and take you to yet another para jumbles. Okay, fine. Yeah. These questions have been taken courtesy from Set King Verbal Advanced book. There are type 1, 4, 5, 6 sentence. The directions for questions 1 to 41. Actually, you have 51 different varieties. I think if you do all the 51, it just goes. So instead of you wasting your time, if you feel so, let me do it for you. And let me see how well they have incorporated and put it in the book for all of us to use it. Yeah. Yes. The sentence given in each sentence, when properly sequenced, form a coherent paragraph. Each sentence is labeled with a letter. Choose the most logical order of sentences from among the given choices to construct a coherent paragraph. The first one says, in this you will have to read all the 4 sentences, friends. You will have to read, not like comprehension. The 2 neighbors never fought each other. Fights involving 3 male fiddler crabs have been recorded, but the status of the participants was unknown. They pushed or grappled only with the intruder. We recorded 17 cases in which a resident that was fighting an intruder was joined by an immediate neighbor and ally. We therefore tracked to 268 intruder males until we saw them fighting a resident male. Now the options given, BEDAC, DEBSC, and then it says BDCAE, BCEDA. So let's see which one could be the right one. Now, it actually, we have to first check out the Sorry for this gap, the power outrage was the reason for this. So now no issues. Okay. The two neighbors never fought each other. So we had read this. So let's not waste time in reading this. So we have to see whether what is the answer. Now, if you see the C, so it cannot start. It says fights involving, so it cannot start. It's with some connection. There is something called two neighbors. Now, who are the two neighbors? We have to find out. Now, we recorded 17 cases. We therefore tracked. So somewhere between D and E is the starting. So D is the first sentence. We recorded 17 cases in which a resident that was fighting the intruder was joined by an immediate neighbor and ally. We therefore tracked 268 intruder males until we saw them fighting a resident male. And then therefore, each in fights involving 3 male fit crabs have been recorded, but the status of the participants was unknown. And the next one will be, they fought with the two neighbors never fought each other. They push a grapple only with the intruder. That is how it is given. Now, the next one. He felt justified in bypassing Congress altogether on a variety of modes. At times, he was fighting the entire Congress. And then Bush felt he had a mission to restore power to the presidency. Bush was not fighting just the Democrats. Representative democracy is a messy business, and the CEO of the White House does not like a legislature of second guessers and time wasters. So now, if you've seen he, now who is this he? You and I don't know. At times, connecting, transition, so we don't know. Now you have Bush. In two cases, you have Bush, so it can be either C, either D. Read the C. Bush felt he had a mission to restore power to the presidency. So if you have noticed, here we have power to the presidency. So that is one thing. The next one is Bush was not just fighting the Democrats. So that will be the thing. So if it is nothing but, so here it is this thing. So what is the, this is the third one. And so you have Bush was not fighting the Democrats. He felt he had a mission to restore power to the presidency. And therefore, what did he do? So we should say, we should see the answer. Now, which one is the first one? So the first one over here is Bush was not fighting the Democrats. At times, he was fighting the entire Congress. Second one. Now, what is A? He felt justified in bypassing the Congress altogether on a variety of modes. So D, B, A, you have two more, and then what happens is E and then C. So representative democracy is a messy business, and the CEO of the White House does not like guessers and time wasters. And ultimately, he felt he had a mission to restore power to the presidency. So this answer is 2. So that is the answer. Now we shall go on to the, no, am I right? This is the second one, correct? The second one is 3. I was thinking, yeah. Yeah, okay. This is the answer, I'm sorry about it. He had a mission to restore power, then is not a democracy business, and then you have A, which is justified, then you have B, okay, and then you have B. Now the third one. In the West, Allied forces had fought their way through southern Italy as far as Rome. In June 1944, Allied forces had fought their way through southern Italy as far as, Germany's military position in World War II appeared hopeless. In Britain, the task of amassing the men and materials for the liberation of Northern Europe had been completed. The Red Army was poised to drive back the Nazis back through Poland. The situation on the Eastern Front was catastrophic. So here it says B is the answer. C is the answer. So B is the first one. How? Let us see. In June 1944, Germany's military position in World War II appeared hopeless. So that is the first one. And then the Red Army was poised to drive back the Nazis back through Poland. The situation on the Eastern Front was catastrophic. The then you have C, the task of amassing men and materials for the liberation of Northern Europe had been completed. Finally, Allied forces had fought their way through southern Italy as far as Rome. So that is the answer. In this previous one, it is 3, which is the answer. In the third one, it is 2, which is the answer. Okay, so this will be the first one. B, the situation was catastrophic, bad. Okay, then the Red Army was poised to drive Nazis through this. Let me remove the highlight from this. Okay. Okay. And then we have A. Allied forces had fought as far as Rome. We have. And then the task of yes, I'm sure to see. Yeah. This is the next one. So I have done examples. I'll see if we do the question papers. We can pick up from them and do also. With this, I have just given you a brief practice of the para jumbles. So later on, let us see, in case you find it a little more difficult, or if you find there's any issues, we can recapitulate this once again. It's no doubt you may feel it tricky, but it will come through practice alone. So do not feel that it has been a little difficult. When the sentences are long, we do find it. But remember, as I told you, you start with I can do it. So you can surely do it. And with that, we have come to the end, but not before sharing the best news with you. I told you the best always comes in the end, and the best is this. These courses can be challenging and hard. You may have many questions about the course exam preparation. Book a free one-on-one counseling on to ask anything. And WhatsApp now 973-973-3400. Ekcel Academy courtesy. Thanks to Ekcel Academy once again, and thanks for their support, their interest, the opportunity. Here's Mrs. Meenala Satyamurthy signing off on the second day of this English crash course. Thank you and have a wonderful day.